Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback. I'm Jay Stockwell.
I'm Bob Frady.
And I'm George Stockwell.
Preparing, you can tell that this is not necessarily a good team because Jay has decided to let Bob run the show for this episode. This is like, okay, now we're going to drive to Canada from here. Don't worry, it's 2 lanes. Don't go too fast. So we are battling the mighty Zips of Akron. So, quick trivia question, hands down off the keyboard, ChatGPT wizards. Why are they called the Zips?
I don't know. Maybe lightning. A lot of lightning in the area. I don't know.
It turns out they used to be called the Zippers because B.F. Goodrich, which is an Akron manufacturer, made zippers, and they had a student contest to say, hey, back in the 1920s, what should we name the team? And they're like, the Zippers, because we're zipping up and down the field. And they changed it to the Zips back in the 40s or 50s or something like that. So that's why they're the Zips, because they were originally the Zippers. Here's the story of the week, though. These Zips have no zip.
Yeah, I did a stats comparison between Nebraska and the Akron Zips, and this is going to be a slaughter.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's not say it's a slaughter yet after Georgia Southern like 5 years ago. You never know what's gonna happen. We're probably gonna win, but you can't say that, okay?
I've done the research, my young son, my young liege. I have done the research, and we will pound these guys into oblivion. But I think it presents an opportunity for Nebraska, and that is, like, let's work some things out before Michigan comes to town. You know, let's get some more running backs into the mix. Let's throw some balls downfield. Bob Frady pointed out last game, no play action passes or very little. Keep honing those incredible special teams. By the way, we lost Janarian Bonner for the season. That's not good.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I think it's an opportunity to, I kind of, I guess, what do we do? We paid off Tennessee, took them off the schedule, and added these 2 cupcakes after a respectable opener to get prep for Michigan at home. I think that whoever did that, probably Troy Dannon, I think is very smart in terms of giving us the chance to win versus Michigan.
Yeah, listen, you want to play tough teams early. You want to play. You want to be the national champion. You got to beat everybody. So none of this cupcaking your way. It's kind of disappointing. It's kind of an embarrassment to the school, to tell you the truth. You know, the MAC, which is where the Zips play, should be called the Snack because every other team is snacking on the MAC.
Well, I'm going to look at Ohio State's schedule and see if they have any cupcakes here.
Well, Ohio State played
Texas
last year.
They played Texas.
Come on.
They're not. They weren't playing the Texas Zips. They were playing Texas Longhorns. So we can't use them as a
when Indiana a few weeks ago came out with their proposal to cancel Virginia, who's not an insanely good team, but it's Power 4. They had a two-year thing with them as well, like we did Tennessee. Took them off the schedule, and everyone's making fun of them. It's definitely not a great look for Nebraska, even though this happened a while ago. But I mean, Akron is not the greatest of teams. They got killed by Ohio State, killed by Rutgers, killed by South Carolina, and they went 4-8 and 3-5 in the MAC. So,
and neither is Grambling State or University of Ohio, which is Ohio State's next 2 games. So apparently, there's a little system going on here in the Big Ten scheduling.
Yeah, they played Texas.
You played Texas.
I know. We played.
You need a rest.
We played Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Texas. It's like Nebraska and Akron. Come on, the big difference there.
So of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 teams in the MAC conference, 4 won their first game. That means 9 lost.
Well, 9 of them are probably playing big Power 4 teams.
So. Akron played Wyoming, which was not a big Power 4 team.
They are a better team.
And so, yeah, they played a better team because they lost. but it is one of those situations where this is a game where I'm tempted to say that Nebraska will win 70-7, but that's being super optimistic because I still think they have some offensive things to work out. This is a game where if the starters are playing in the second half, that's a failure. So
how many Big Ten teams won their first game?
all of them except for 2. How many are there, like 85 teams in the Big Ten now? It used to be simple. This used to be Nebraska math. It's the Big Ten. There's 10 teams. There's 10 and 10 that matches. And now it's like 18 teams in the Big Ten or
I don't
something
like
like
it
that.
at all, man. It's
And so 2 teams lost.
Yeah, I grew
You
up
see
in
it.
Big 8, man. The Big 8 was cool. It garnered
That's because you're a farmer and one of your fingers is probably missing from each hand. So it's like it's the Big 7. No, wait, it's the Big 8. You think you're flashing gang sizes? No, that's just a thresher injury.
Yeah, but we'll see. Let's look. I'm a fan of this schedule, and I think it sets us up well for Michigan. That's all I'm saying.
But look, guys, even though this team is clearly not good and they weren't that good last year, their quarterback is still not terrible. He had 4 games with 350 passing yards or more. And I think that I think our cornerbacks are obviously our best room, like I said last week, and it proved to work because our cornerbacks won us the game. I think this is a really big game for the defensive line who had 0 sacks.
Agreed.
Little to no pressure.
I like how you're keeping that optimism up there, young Stockwell. Akron is under a bowl ban for 2025.
Yes, I
Yes,
saw that.
for failing their academic progress or something like that. Yeah. Last team to do it in a non-COVID year was Idaho in 2014, and it was so bad that they went down to the 1AA FCS.
Wow. Well, that's brutal.
They are 8-28 in the last 3 seasons. They lost to the 100th ranked Wyoming Cowboys, scoring no offensive points. They have had an outflow of talent and not enough inbound talent. And listen, this is like, I almost feel like it's Jake Paul fighting the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's buddy there, Alfonso Riviera or something like that. It's like just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? This is the Jake Paul fight of football games, where you're not sure. You're not sure if Nebraska's a real big team yet. I mean, they're big, they're hulking, they look like they play the part, but you're not sure. And then Akron is the I used to be somebody team way back in the day. And
Did they used to be somebody validated? Nah, not really. So it's
they
kind
made a
of
bowl game in 2017.
So it's kind of
like-
just like Jake Paul versus Jay Stockwell is what we're saying. That's what.
Hey, Jay could absorb a lot of blows before he went down. George Stockwell, on the other hand,
Yeah, I would get killed.
Yeah.
You gotta have
Well, we saw how fast Bob Frady could go down this weekend at Lake Minnetonka.
man.
Let's keep it at football. Let's keep it at football. Nobody knows what Lake Minnetonka is.
Lake Minnetonka, it was very refreshing in the water there. So, you know what was funny though is your dad jumped off a boat and he had one of those little floaty things with him, and he jumped in the water and went down so far it was like a 6 count before he came back up and resurfaced. We're like, did he just fall at the bottom of the ocean? Like and then like it was so severe that he jumped in, the water got still, and then he pops back up. I was like, oh, and then he stepped on my foot, and I think he broke my toe.
And that was with a floaty. That was
the floaty. That float. You know what? That's what this football game is. This football game is Jay Stockwell versus the floaty. It's just.
I had a moment where I honestly thought,
out.
am I gonna resurface here? Is this gonna?
It's like, is there a lake monster in there or something? Spit you out. Anyway, listen. You can't be unfair to Akron. They're getting a good paycheck. They may put up a good fight. They may not put up a good fight. Their coach is overmatched and will probably be fired, if not during the season, then after the season.
Or maybe during the game.
And
Maybe
they're on probation. It's like, it's such a sad situation to see where this is not a real football game for Nebraska. This is like a glorified scrimmage. At least with the 1AAs, the FBS or whatever it's called these days, these guys come in all charged up. Akron's going to be depressed after getting beat by Wyoming, flying into Lincoln, and then knowing they're going to get whooped. Just can't be the best situation to be in.
Look,
So
we've seen games like this where really, like last year, Oregon, great team, made it to the CFP, 14-24 win against Idaho, which is the team that got banned. And they were not a great team last year. They're at the FCS level, which is D1, but still below the FBS. So I mean, we still got to lock in. And I think Matt Rhule knows that. I think that he's got the players in check. I don't think that we're going to come into this lazy. I think that, and I
okay,
to
Mr. Captain Negative Duty. What's your take on this game? What are the pros and cons, George Stockwell? And give me your take on this game.
On this game, I think that the important things we need to do is defensive line for sure. I watched back on Cincinnati a little bit last week. I think the reason we weren't throwing deep was they had 2 high safeties the entire time, and it was just smarter to throw short and conservative instead of take long shots on a 2v1, 2 cornerbacks, 1 run receiver. So I think that if they keep that look, we throw short and just pound it to the ground, and we'll smoke these guys. And if they let the deep ball go, then we throw it deep. So I think that we just got to take our medicine, play great defense. Cornerbacks are going to still play good, obviously. So that's my take. I think it's going to be a blowout. I'd say 50.
Hold on, don't give us a score just yet. We'll save scores till the end.
All right,
Jay, what are you thinking about this game?
I'd like to see more rotation in the backfield. Handing the ball off to our guy Emmett is going to 34 times is going to get him hurt, and it's not necessary in these next 2 games. So let's get some other guys some experience, build some depth at that position. I do want to see him air the ball out because I think we've got the assets to do it on the wing, and this is a perfect opportunity to try that. I think you're right, George, about the last game. I thought that was a pretty smart strategy, and he stuck with his guy at the running back, and it worked at the end of the day. So, but I think you're right. The big number coming out of the last game was 202 yards rushing, 6.7 yards average. A lot of that was Sorsby, but I went back and looked at it. It was actually pretty evenly divided atop their top 4 rushers. 3 of the 4 were above the 6.7 yard average. So that's a generalized defensive linebacker problem that we've got to fix. And there's really the only dark mark of that game. And I think we got the coaching and John Butler's a smart guy and has coached the Buffalo Bills for years. He's going to figure that out and figure out why it happened in the first place and make the appropriate adjustments. So I think it's I expect also continued great play from our special teams. So delighted that we have a kicking game, and special teams took a hit with losing Janarian because he caught the ball really well on the punts. So somebody's going to have to step into those shoes. But I'm generally generally excited for the team. Big Ten Network game, night game, 6:30. We can really enjoy that, and I'm already thinking about Michigan, but we can't start talking about that at this point.
And there we have our biggest challenge to this game. Looking ahead, where you think, okay, we beat Cincinnati. Now we got this Cupcake, and we got another 1AA team next week. So we're just going to cruise. We don't have to work hard. Like you said, George, big teams get beat by small teams all the time. Probably not by Akron, but it is that complacency, I think, is the one thing that you are nervous about in this game. Who starts at left tackle? Are they going to settle that question down this week? It's hard to say. They're still rotating between the 3 guys. And is there a second running back who ends up chunking up the yards? Because, listen, I'm not one of these guys who believes that pitchers have to be taken out of a game after 100 pitches. And I think that if you're going to be a football running back, you should be prepared to run the ball 20, 30 times a game, 20 to 25 times a game. And so that's the trap of this game. All that said,
And you know who ran that well this last week was your favorite back from last year, Dante Dowdell, had a great game over at Kentucky.
oh jeez, let's
and
not
then
talk about who's not in the room.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But
good
I
for
mean,
him.
give them credit for making a smart play to go get him and pay him the NIL. I don't know the figures, but they got a good running back in Dante Dowdell.
So Nebraska is a 34.5-point favorite. I believe the spread is 40. I mean, the over/under is 47.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like it's lower than last week's game, but it's an indictment of their ability to score any points. So the question is Nebraska going to score more than 47 points? Because that's your
This
over-under.
is a Sunday morning quarterback line if there ever was one. It's like, because 35, they'll cover, but they'll be under. And it's entirely possible they could win 35-0. So, given everything that you see, George, what's your prediction for the score of this game?
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's 50-7. Looking at the games they had last year against big Power 4 teams, they were killing them, even if they weren't great Power 4 teams. So I think that it's gonna be 50-7, 40-something to 7. I think we're gonna have 40 or more points, and we're gonna hold them under 10 points. That's my prediction.
Jay,
Yeah, I'm going with the over. I'm going to say 56-7. And we're just going to run and pass up and down the field with abandon on Saturday night.
I think because we love the under so much, it will be 35-3. They'll be under and they won't cover. It's just awesome.
I like that.
I would love that. You win by 32 and you're disappointed. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't think that Wyoming can score on them outside of some sort of weird play happening, like a return or or an interception or a fumble or something like that. I think that Nebraska, because they want to work out their run offense a little bit more and find a secondary back, will just march it up and down the field and running the ball with some stats in there, some passes in there. But you're not going to want to give away a whole lot over the next 2 weeks. So I think it'll be a rather conservative game plan. I'm saying it's 35-3.
I like it.
According to ChatGPT, they're predicting 49-10, which aligns with the game's 34.5 spread and a projected total of about 47.5 points.
You scored no points against Wyoming. What makes us think you're going to score 10 points against Nebraska?
We could hear your aggressive typing. We knew you were getting ready to say something. You could hear
I was like, so like, are the baby elephants coming in here? Is that the sea monster? Is that the lake monster coming back for his snack?
Well, there you have it, folks. Do not forget to subscribe and like and finish to the end. We'd love for you to stay with us. Our numbers are up this year, so things are looking good for the big Sunday morning quarterback. Really appreciate.
Even Sunday morning quarterback realizes when we need a youth movement, so we brought in the younger guy, and he's doing great. So anything we missed? Any last bit of comments?
Oh yeah. Oh, liquor sales for the first time at Nebraska Memorial Stadium this weekend.
I heard they have about 250,000 beer cans. Do you think that's enough for the 90,000 Nebraskans?
That's the first. That's the first half. You get maybe that's the first quarter.
Let's do some about 40. About I'd say half of the population is drinking. They got about 5 beers to 10 beers per. That's not enough. It's definitely not enough. Come on.
Okay, this is one of the string bets that we'll keep an eye on.
Oh,
is the over/under of Nebraska running out of alcohol during the game. I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over.
George and I were at the game in Dublin a few years ago versus Northwestern, and the payment systems went down, and so they started just giving the beer away, and you wouldn't have believed the people just hoarding beers, like taking on 10, 12 at a time.
Do they happen to give it to the players at halftime, or the coaches? Let's do an insane kick.
Oh, yeah, we're up by 14. Let's onside kick it.
Oh, this is we'll put our foot in their necks.
And I had to
It's
be there.
always just break out the Lucky Charms guy. That's all you have to do. Oh, it's magically delicious.
All right. All right, Bob, I think that does it for us. 20 minutes on the nose, and we're gonna be glued to the TV on Saturday to see if our predictions come true. Take us out, young man.